This week, something a little coupe-esque from Toyota. It's the CHR Koba. The new model of CHR is very much improved on the old model, by a long shot. It's more grown up and a little bit less gimmicky. But it's moved into the premium section and I'm not quite sure it belongs there. But anyway, there's two drivetrains. One is an all-wheel drive, that's the next model up, the GR Sport, and that one has a 2-litre hybrid drivetrain with an electric all-wheel drive system, so the rear axle is electric. The front has adopted Toyota's new design language. You've seen it on Camry and other models, and it's the daytime running light running around a piece of bodywork and then the LED lights under that. I think the design is rather successful. From the side is where the biggest change is, I think, to the CHR models. The rear door, for example, is still ridiculously small window-wise. The door itself is big, but the window is tiny, and it makes inside feel rather tomb-like. But look at this. We've got these pop-out door handles front and back. You lock it by pressing this button, unlock it by pressing that button. And while we're at the side, have a look at those facets. That's really deeply carved. But now I'm going to show you inside the back. There's only a very small amount of space between the seat that's set for me to drive and the back seat. I couldn't sit in here and I'm not going to try. But you see, it is rather tomb-like back here. That rear pillar is absolutely enormous and the back window is absolutely tiny. That's 2 weeks in a row I've not been able to get in the back seat. I did move the front seat forward and have a go at sitting in, and yeah, it's a little too tomb-like. Add to the fact that it's got privacy glass, this blackened glass, and it's pretty dark in there. There's a couple of USBs in the back as well. The rear tail lights, rather smart, and this CHR, that lights up when the car greets you. It does have kick to open, but I've got the car running so that the air conditioning stays on. It's a bit warm today. The boot is a decent size, but there's nothing to see underneath. And the seats go down 60/40. The electric hatch has a close or a close and lock option. The lock option only works if you've got the key on you. Whoops, as I just proved. But it does save you having to schlep around the front when you've got your hands full of groceries. And the kick to open also kicks to close. Now I'm sitting in the front, and this is where it feels really premium. The plastic is nice quality, unlike the back doors that are really scratchy. The door cards covered in this beautiful Alcantara-like fabric. There's the usual window switches and door locks, automatic lights, tailgate opening, etc. I don't know if you can see it, but just there we've got a head-up display. And remember, this is the middle model, the Koba. It's a front-wheel drive version, and it comes in at $57,000 and some change on the road. The top model is $62,000 and some change on the road. Yikes. So what do you get? A nice large digital driver display and a very large infotainment screen, which has got built-in CarPlay, etc. This is very, very easy to use. And down the side, the buttons stay in view most of the time. All right, for some reason I had to go and reconnect my phone. But anyway, there you go. So you'll now notice there's a CarPlay symbol here. And that's my CarPlay up. It didn't seem to like it. Maybe it disconnected when I put it in the Qi charger, which is down here. We've got a driver monitor just here. Steering wheel buttons, nice and clear, including the cruise control and lane control. Physical air conditioning controls. I think these are a must. Down below is a USB-C, automated parking, and this is the view button, which turns on the camera. and I've always liked Toyota's camera. And the Prius-like gear selector, which feels really classy compared to that really cheap one I had in the Yaris. And remember, this is an all-hybrid range now. And you move the gear selector by going over and down, over and forward, or you can just press park like so. There's drive modes below that, traction control, auto hold, which is auto brake hold, the parking brake, which is electric and also automatic, and EV only mode. We've got JBL speakers, and while we're here, I'd just like to direct you to this piece of sculpture that comes up over and finishes in this little unique kind of hexagonal design. I think that just looks really classy, though that dashboard is absolutely, it's so deep I can't believe it. And down below, a little trinket tray, and this sports fabric on the seats, which to be honest, I don't like it. It feels really cheap. This feels really nice, this Alcantara-like, but this just feels nasty. The battery is tiny, and Toyota's gone to an all-hybrid range in many of its models. There's certainly a hybrid available in almost everything, mild hybrids in some, and like this, a full hybrid. That also means now that it's using Toyota's latest generation of hybrid. They call it an automatic CVT, but it's not like the old rubber band feeling CVTs that you had of old. They were awful. You'd put your foot down and it was screaming by the time it got to the other side of the intersection. Not so now. This is nice and controlled and really very elegant. The 1.8 litre hybrid is just over 100 kilowatts, which I don't feel is quite enough. This car deserves more. The all-wheel drive version is something like 147 kilowatts, and I think that would be a little more like it. This is still a very leisurely 0 to 100, and I think it deserves more. It certainly looks faster. It certainly feels better than the 3-cylinder efforts. For example, the car last week, the Peugeot, it was $67,000, $74,000 on the road. And it had not much more power than, in fact, I think it had the same power as this. Much more luxurious, but it would want to be. But then I pointed out something. For that money, you could actually get these EVs, a Zeekr X, and these other EVs. Some of them were cheaper. You can even get a Tesla Model Y for just a little bit more than this on the road. Now, I'm sorry, if I had a choice between a base model Tesla Model Y or this, I'd take the Tesla. And the reason that I'm mentioning electric cars is because this is a hybrid range designed to give you better fuel consumption. And the problem that I've got with that is that this is getting 5.6 litres per 100 kilometres. And that's not bad. I mean, it's a hybrid, so I'd expect less. And it's more than what Toyota quotes. So it's still more expensive to run than an electric car that's cheaper, because remember, you've still got the same petrol engine ICE servicing costs that you've got for any other ICE. Electric cars, they don't have the same servicing costs. They also don't have the same running costs. And even if you were to add up all those costs, especially if the EV costs less than this, the ownership cost is considerably less. So you've got to take that into consideration. Now, with this latest integration by the way of CarPlay, I'm also getting my Google Maps directions up here in the head-up display, which I like. Then we get on to the handling. Really is very good. Proper sophisticated suspension front and rear. It is tuned for a sportier feel. And I like that. It makes it feel nippy and just fun. And I noticed that there were particular road surfaces that made the CHR feel quite rough. The thing I really can't figure out is where CHR fits in Toyota's range. Because we've got the Yaris Cross, the Corolla Cross, RAV4, and then the bigger SUVs. This seems like a bit of an orphan. Why would they have this very strange looking small SUV that feels about the same inside as a Yaris Cross as far as space goes? Looks considerably better than the Corolla Cross, which is just horrible. But I really don't understand. I realize all of this technology costs money, and the ADAS, this stuff that's steering me and so forth, that costs money, but all car companies have done it. So considering my fuel consumption, as I said, is 5.6 litres per 100 kilometres, and that's over quite some distance. This car's done about 7,100 kilometres. I think that fuel consumption should be lower. And if I was just around town, if I was doing just urban tasks, chances are it would be. That's all this week from Toyota's CHR. I absolutely loved it. Handles beautifully. It's a fantastic car. But Toyota really is going to have to sharpen its pencil against cheaper rivals that offer better value for money. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just over there on the little round thing to subscribe.